The dying prospector gripped Clara Doyle's wrist so hard that her serving tray crashed to the floor. Glasses shattered. Music stopped. Every face in the Golden Crown saloon turned toward the young maid and the bearded stranger bleeding across her table. "Take it," he whispered. His frozen fingers pushed folded oilskin into Clara's palm. Clara stared at him. "Sir, you need a doctor." "No doctor." His eyes moved wildly through the crowded room. "They followed me." A chair scraped near the bar. The wounded man pulled Clara closer. "The claim is yours now," he breathed. "Enough gold to change your life." Then his gaze dropped to a man's hand resting on the bar. A silver ring gleamed beneath the lamps. It was shaped like a wolf. The prospector's face filled with terror. Never trust the man wearing the silver wolf. The lamps flickered. Someone shouted. A gunshot cracked through the saloon, and the wounded prospector went still. Before we continue, please like this story, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves mystery, survival, and the old frontier. For one long second, Clara could not move. Then everyone moved at once. Men rose, women screamed. Boots pounded over the floor. The piano player slipped out through the rear door. Clara looked down at the dead man. His hand still covered hers. The oilskin map was trapped between their palms. "Clara!" The voice belonged to Silas Crow, owner of the Golden Crown. He stood behind the bar in a black vest. Silas had hired Clara 6 months earlier, but kindness had never lived in him. He charged workers for meals, beds, and broken glasses. His eyes were not on the dead man. They were on Clara's closed fist. "What did he give you?" "Nothing." Silas slowly came around the bar. Clara's heart beat so hard she feared everyone could hear it. 2 men blocked the front door. Near the stove stood Marshal Edwin Voss, wearing a polished badge and a cold smile. The silver wolf ring was gone from the bar. Clara could not see who had worn it. Marshal Voss knelt beside the body. "This man is Elias Reed," he said, "wanted for theft and murder." A murmur spread through the saloon. Clara looked at the dead prospector's tired face. He had not looked like a killer. He had looked afraid. Voss searched the man's coat, then his boots. "Something is missing." Silas stopped in front of Clara. "Open your hand." She thought of her mother in Seattle, growing weaker every month. Clara had come north seeking a fortune. Instead, she barely earned enough for food and a narrow room. Each week, she mailed a few dollars south. Each week, her mother's letters grew shorter. Clara had promised she would not return home empty-handed. She pictured her mother sitting beside the small window, wrapped in the same gray blanket, waiting for medicine Clara could not yet afford. The map might be a lie. It might also be the only chance she would ever have to keep that promise. The last letter had ended with only 6 words. "I am trying to hold on." Clara tightened her fist. "I said he gave me nothing." Silas slapped her. The force turned her face toward the dead man. Her cheek burned, but she did not cry. Silas leaned close. "You belong to this saloon until your debt is paid. Anything given to you under my roof belongs to me." Clara stared back at him. "No." Silas raised his hand again. The lamp suddenly went dark. A bottle smashed. Someone grabbed Clara by the waist and pulled her beneath the dead man's table. "Do not scream," a man whispered. Clara twisted, ready to bite him, but he covered her mouth. "Back door now." Gunfire burst across the saloon. Men shouted for lamps. Marshal Voss ordered everyone to stay where they were. The stranger dragged Clara through spilled whiskey and broken glass. He kicked open the kitchen door and pushed her into the snow. Cold struck her like a wall. Dawson City lay beneath a pale winter moon, its frozen streets crowded with cabins, tents, and saloons. The stranger pulled Clara into an alley. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with dark hair and sharp gray eyes. "Who are you?" Clara demanded. "Jack Callahan." Then she remembered the disgraced captain. Jack had commanded the riverboat Northern Star before it struck ice and sank. People said he had been drunk and stolen its cargo. "What do you want?" "The map Elias gave you." Clara stepped back. Jack opened his right hand. A silver wolf ring circled his finger. Fear rushed through her. She reached for a broken plank beside the wall, but Jack caught her wrist. "Elias warned you about this ring," he said. Clara froze. "How do you know?" "Because he stole the map from me." Voices exploded from the saloon behind them. "There she is." Jack pulled Clara down as a bullet struck the wall above her head. Wood splinters showered her hair. They ran. Clara slipped over packed snow as Jack led her between buildings. Behind them, Voss shouted that Clara had murdered Elias. Other men joined the chase, hungry for gold. Jack shoved open a shed near the river. Inside waited a dog team and loaded sled. "You planned this," Clara said. "I planned to catch Elias before he reached town." "Then why help me?" "Because Voss will kill you after he gets that map." Jack cut the dogs loose from their chain. Clara backed toward the door. "What is at the claim?" "Gold." "How much?" Jack looked at her. "Enough to make honest men wicked." The shed door burst open. Silas Crow stood there with a shotgun. "You disappoint me, Clara." He aimed at her chest. Jack threw a lantern. Silas fired. The lantern shattered against the wall. Flames raced through spilled lamp oil. Dogs barked and strained against their harness. Jack lifted Clara onto the sled and jumped behind her. The team surged forward. They smashed through the rear wall and flew onto the frozen river as fire swallowed the shed. Shots chased them into the darkness. For nearly an hour, Clara heard nothing but runners cutting over snow and her own frightened breathing. Dawson City faded behind them. The cold cut through Clara's dress and coat. She wanted to demand answers, but every time she looked back, she saw torchlight moving across the river. Dawson was still hunting them. At last, Jack guided the dogs into a narrow valley lined with black spruce. Clara took out the oilskin. "Do not open it," Jack said. She ignored him. Inside was a hand-drawn map marked with rivers, mountains, and a red circle. At the bottom, Elias had written a message. Clara read it once, then again. Her hands began to shake. "What does it say?" Jack asked. She turned the map toward him. Beneath the red circle were 8 words. "Jack Callahan buried the gold and killed my brother." Clara looked from the message to the silver wolf on Jack's hand. His face had gone pale. Then a rifle clicked in the trees behind them. A hidden voice said, "Step away from the girl, Captain." Clara slowly turned toward the darkness and saw 3 silver wolf rings shining between the branches. 3 men stepped from the trees with rifles aimed at Jack. Each wore a silver wolf ring. Clara's mouth went dry. The tallest man had a scar across his chin and ice clinging to his beard. He kept his rifle fixed on Jack's chest. "Step away from her," he said. Jack slowly raised both hands. "Clara, stay behind me. Do not move," the scarred man warned her. "He is dangerous." Clara looked at the 3 silver rings. Elias had warned her never to trust the man wearing one, but he had not said there would be several. "Who are you?" she asked. "My name is Thomas Vale. Elias Reed was my partner." The second man moved toward the sled. He was thin and nervous, with a cloth wrapped around one eye. Thomas stopped him. "Leave the girl alone, Peter." Peter glared at Clara's closed hand. "She has the map." Jack gave a quiet laugh. "So that is your plan? Pretend you came to save her, then take the claim?" Thomas's face hardened. "You lost the right to speak about plans when you killed Matthew Reed." Clara looked at Jack. "Matthew was Elias's brother?" Jack did not answer. Thomas nodded. "Matthew found the claim first. Jack wanted it for himself." "That is not what happened," Jack said. "Then tell her why Matthew's body was found near your riverboat." Jack's jaw tightened. Before he could answer, dogs began barking far behind them. Torchlight appeared between the trees. Marshal Voss and Silas Crow were getting closer. Thomas cursed under his breath. "They should not have found us this quickly." Peter pointed at Jack. "He led them here." "I saved the girl from them," Jack said. "You saved the map." The third man, an older prospector named Samuel, looked toward the approaching lights. "We can accuse each other after we are alive." Thomas lowered his rifle slightly. "There is an abandoned trapping cabin 2 miles north. We can reach it before Voss." Jack shook his head. "That cabin has 1 door and no rear window. It is a grave." "Then suggest something better." Jack pointed toward the dark mountain above them. "There is an old mining tunnel on the eastern slope." Thomas narrowed his eyes. "How do you know?" "Because I helped dig it." Clara studied Jack's face. Every answer created another secret. They moved quickly. Thomas and his men followed behind the sled while Jack guided the dogs through deep snow. Clara sat with the map hidden inside her coat. The wind grew stronger as they climbed. Snow covered their tracks. but it also hid rocks and fallen branches. Jack kept looking over his shoulder. "Are you afraid of Voss?" Clara asked. "I am afraid of what he wants." "The gold?" "No." She waited. Jack said nothing more. They reached the tunnel before dawn. Its entrance was hidden behind dead pine branches. Inside, the air was warmer, but smelled of wet earth and old smoke. Samuel lit a lantern. The tunnel stretched deep into the mountain. Thomas made Jack sit against the wall, while Peter tied his wrists. Clara watched closely. Jack did not resist. Thomas held out his hand. "The map." "No." Peter stepped toward her. Thomas stopped him again. "She is 19 years old, frightened and alone. We will not treat her like a criminal." "I am not frightened," Clara said, though her knees were shaking. Thomas gave her a tired smile. "You should be." He removed his silver wolf ring and placed it on the ground. The rings belonged to a group called the Northern Wolves. "We were prospectors, guides, and rivermen. We promised to protect one another." Clara looked at Jack. "He was one of you?" "He founded us," Thomas said. Jack stared at the floor. Thomas continued. 5 years ago, Jack found a rich deposit in the mountains. He brought Elias and Matthew into the search. Then greed broke them apart." "That is a lie," Jack said. Peter struck him across the face. Clara stepped forward. "Stop." Jack lifted his head. Blood touched the corner of his mouth. Thomas sighed. Matthew disappeared. Elias accused Jack. A month later, Jack's riverboat sank with a fortune in supplies. "And everyone blamed him," Clara said. "They should have," Peter snapped. "He was drunk." Jack looked at Clara. "I was not drunk." "Then why did the boat sink?" "Someone cut the steering lines." Silence filled the tunnel. Thomas studied him. "You never said that before." No one asked. They had already chosen the story they wanted. Clara understood that feeling. Silas had called her a thief before knowing the truth. Voss had called her a murderer because it made hunting her easier. Thomas turned to Clara. "What did Elias write on the map?" She hesitated. Jack spoke first. "He wrote that I buried the gold and killed Matthew." Thomas's expression changed. "How do you know that?" "Clara showed me." Thomas looked at the oilskin hidden beneath her coat. "That message was not there when Elias took the map." Clara stared at him. "You saw it before?" "I drew half of it." Peter moved closer. "Give it to us." A sound echoed from deeper inside the mountain. A soft scrape, then another. Everyone froze. Samuel lifted the lantern. Jack stood suddenly, though his hands were still tied. "We are not alone." A gunshot exploded from the darkness. The lantern shattered. Blackness swallowed the tunnel. Clara dropped to the ground as bullets struck stone. Men shouted. Peter fired blindly. The tunnel filled with smoke and flying dust. A hand found Clara's arm. She fought against it. "It is me," Jack whispered. "How did you untie yourself?" "I will explain later." He pulled her through a narrow opening in the wall. They crawled into a smaller passage while gunfire continued behind them. "Thomas," Clara shouted. Jack covered her mouth. "If you call out, we die." They crawled until the passage opened into a low chamber. Faint blue light entered through a crack in the rock. Jack released her. Clara struck him across the face. "You left them. They knew the risk. You knew someone was inside that tunnel." "I suspected." "Who?" Jack looked toward the narrow passage. "Men who work for Marshal Voss." Clara backed away. "You knew this was a trap." "I knew Voss used the tunnel years ago. I did not know his men were still here." "Why would a lawman hide men in a mountain?" Jack's eyes moved to the map beneath her coat. "Because the gold claim is not only a claim." Clara pulled out the oilskin. Jack took a small knife from his boot and carefully cut the map's bottom edge. A second piece of paper was sewn inside. Clara unfolded it. It was not another map. It was a list of names, payments, and dates. At the top was Marshal Edwin Voss. Below his name were judges, merchants, saloon owners, and shipping agents. Silas Crow's name appeared 3 times. Clara felt sick. "What is this?" "Proof," Jack said. "They stole claims from dead prospectors. They killed men, changed property records, and divided the gold." She looked at him. "Did Elias know?" "He helped them." Clara remembered the dying prospector's terrified face. "Then why give this to me?" "Because he was trying to escape." A weak voice came from the passage behind them. "Not escape." Thomas crawled into the chamber, one sleeve dark with blood. Clara rushed to him. "Where are the others?" Thomas lowered his eyes. "Samuel is dead. Peter was taken." Jack crouched beside him. "Who attacked you?" Thomas looked at Clara. "Elias." Clara stared at him. "That is impossible." Thomas pulled a small object from his pocket and opened his hand. It was a gold tooth on a thin chain. "Elias wore this around his neck after Matthew died," Thomas said. "The man in the saloon was not Elias Reed." Clara remembered the wounded stranger, the map, and his final warning. "Then who was he?" Thomas looked at Jack. Jack's face filled with fear. The man who died at Clara's table was Matthew Reed. Clara could barely breathe. "But the message says Jack killed him." "Because Matthew did not write that message," Thomas said. A low laugh came from the dark passage. A lantern appeared. Behind it stood the one-eyed prospector, Peter, but he was no longer tied or frightened. Marshal Voss stood beside him. Silas Crow came next, and behind them walked a bearded man Clara had seen die in the Golden Crown saloon. The same eyes, the same coat, the same face. Elias Reed smiled at her. "My brother always was good at dying for me," he said. Then he raised his pistol toward Jack. "But now I need the girl alive." Elias Reed kept his pistol aimed at Jack. Behind him, Marshal Voss and Silas Crow filled the narrow passage. Peter stood beside them without the cloth over his eye. His supposed injury had been another lie. Clara stared at Elias. He looked so much like the man who had died in the saloon that her mind refused to accept what her eyes were seeing. "Matthew was your twin," she whispered. Elias smiled. "Older by 7 minutes, foolish for all 34 years of his life." Thomas tried to rise, but pain forced him back against the wall. "You used your own brother." "I gave him a choice," Elias replied. "He could help me recover the ledger, or I would tell Voss where he had been hiding." Clara understood. Matthew had entered the saloon already knowing he might die. He had placed the map in her hand because he believed a frightened maid would be ignored. But he had been wrong. Everyone had seen him choose her. "Why me?" Clara asked. Elias's smile disappeared. "Because my brother noticed you mailing money south. He said anyone who worked under Silas and still cared for someone else might be honest." Silas laughed. "Honesty is simply poverty wearing a proud face." Clara looked at him. For 6 months, she had feared Silas. She had lowered her eyes when he shouted, apologized when men grabbed at her, and worked until her feet bled. Now she saw him clearly. He was not powerful. He was only cruel, because others allowed him to be. Voss held out his hand. "Give me the ledger, Clara." Jack moved in front of her. Elias struck him with the pistol. Jack fell to one knee. "Do not pretend to be noble now," Elias said. "You buried enough secrets to fill this mountain." Clara turned toward Jack. "What does he mean?" Jack wiped blood from his mouth. "The gold Matthew found was real." Thomas closed his eyes, as though he already knew the rest. Jack continued. "Matthew discovered it while we were searching together. We planned to register the claim, but Voss heard about it. He offered us protection in exchange for half." "And you refused?" Clara asked. "I did." Elias laughed. "Tell her everything." Jack's voice grew quieter. "I moved the gold before Voss could take it. I hid it beneath the riverboat." Clara remembered the wreck of the Northern Star. "The fortune everyone said sank with your supplies?" "It was not supplies. It was Matthew's gold." Thomas stared at him. "You let us believe it was lost. I thought the river would protect it until we could expose Voss." "But the steering lines were cut," Clara said. Jack nodded. "The boat struck the ice. 3 men died. The gold sank with them." Regret filled his eyes. That was why he had accepted disgrace. Even if he had not caused the wreck, his secret cargo had placed those men in danger. "You should have told the truth," Clara said. "I know." The honesty of his answer hurt more than an excuse would have. Elias stepped closer. "Jack always regrets his crimes after someone else pays for them." "And you?" Jack asked. "Do you regret selling Matthew to Voss?" For the first time, Elias's face changed. Only for a second. But Clara saw the guilt. Voss saw it too. Enough talking. The marshal took the ledger from Clara's hand. He unfolded it, scanned the names, then held it over the lantern flame. "No!" Thomas shouted. The corner caught fire. Voss smiled as the flame spread. But Clara did not move. Neither did Jack. Voss's smile faded. "This is not the ledger," he said. Clara reached beneath her coat and removed another folded paper. "The true list is here." When Jack had cut open the map, Clara had noticed a faded saloon bill inside her pocket. While the others argued, she had switched the papers. Silas raised his shotgun. Clara threw the real ledger through the crack in the chamber wall. It vanished into the blue light beyond. Voss roared and lunged for her. Jack struck him from the side. The two men crashed into the lantern. Darkness swallowed the chamber again. Silas fired. The shot struck the stone ceiling. The mountain answered with a deep, terrible groan. "Everyone down!" Jack shouted. Rock and frozen earth fell into the passage. Clara crawled toward the thin blue light. Thomas followed, dragging his wounded arm. Behind them came shouts, gunfire, and the sound of men fighting in the dark. Jack reached Clara and pushed against the crack in the wall. "It is blocked." Together, they pulled loose stones until freezing air rushed inside. The opening led to a narrow ledge above a steep ravine. Clara climbed through. Thomas came next. Jack was halfway out when Elias grabbed his ankle from inside. Both men struggled at the opening. "Help me!" Jack shouted. Clara seized his hands. Thomas grabbed Clara around the waist and pulled. Elias appeared behind Jack, his face wild with rage. "You stole my gold!" "It was never yours," Jack said. The mountain shook again. A section of the passage collapsed. Elias released Jack and disappeared beneath a cloud of dust. Clara, Thomas, and Jack fell backward onto the ledge. Seconds later, Voss crawled through the opening carrying the shotgun. His badge was gone. Blood ran down his forehead. "The ledger," he demanded. Clara looked toward the ravine. A white sheet of paper rested on a bush 20 feet below. Voss saw it. He began climbing down. Jack tried to stop him, but Voss struck him with the shotgun and continued. The marshal reached the bush and snatched the paper. He laughed. Then the snow beneath his boots broke away. Voss grabbed a branch with one hand. The ledger slipped from the other. Clara dropped to her knees and caught his wrist. Voss stared up at her in shock. "Pull me up." Jack crawled beside her. Clara could feel Voss's weight dragging her toward the edge. "Tell the truth in Dawson," she said. "Confess everything." "I will." "Swear it." "I swear." Clara searched his eyes. There was no regret in them, only fear. Voss pulled a knife from his belt and slashed at her hand. Jack kicked the knife away, but the movement broke the branch. Voss fell into the white emptiness below. His scream faded quickly. Clara remained at the edge, shaking. She had tried to save him, and he had still chosen violence. Thomas found the ledger caught between two rocks farther down the ledge. By sunset, they returned to the mining tunnel's lower entrance. Peter had escaped, but Silas was trapped beneath fallen timber. He begged Clara to free him. She did. Then she tied his hands with the same rope he had once used to punish workers who tried to leave his saloon. Elias was found alive beside Matthew's old pack. His leg was broken, and all his confidence was gone. Inside the pack, Thomas discovered letters written by Matthew. They described the stolen claims, the murders, and Elias's part in the scheme. There was also a letter addressed to Clara. She opened it beside the fire that night. "Miss Doyle, I have watched you work for a man who gives you nothing but cruelty, yet you still send nearly every coin to your mother. The gold claim should belong to the families whose land was stolen, but my personal share belongs to you. Bring your mother somewhere warm." Clara pressed the letter to her chest and wept. Not because she had become rich, because a dying stranger had seen the goodness she thought the world had forgotten. The ledger and Matthew's letters brought investigators north. Silas lost the golden crown. His property was sold, and the money paid his former workers. Elias and Peter were sentenced for their crimes. Thomas helped return stolen claims to widows, settlers, and families who had believed their loved ones simply vanished in the Yukon. Jack confessed his part in hiding the gold and accepted responsibility for the men lost aboard his boat. Because he helped expose Voss and recover the stolen records, he was spared prison, but he refused to ask Clara for forgiveness. "I do not deserve it," he told her. "No," Clara said, "not yet." The gold beneath the wreck was recovered the following spring. Clara used Matthew's share to bring her mother north for treatment, then moved her to a small home near the coast where the air was gentle and the winters were mild. Months later, Jack came to repair the fence around that home. He wore no silver wolf ring, Clara watched him work until sunset. "You missed a post," she said. Jack looked over his shoulder. "I suppose I will have to return tomorrow." Clara smiled. Perhaps. The gold changed Clara's life, but it was not the greatest thing Matthew left her. He gave her proof that even in a cold land ruled by desperate men, kindness could still choose an heir. And sometimes, the poorest person in the room carried the only treasure worth trusting. If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes courage and compassion can survive even the darkest betrayal.